Well, it's no longer news to everyone watching in this channel that Luke Shaw is really an injured man again. Erik ten Hag went ahead, obviously stress what kind of reason they really best on to obviously get him out. But we're here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. And this is Rock and David onto the United Matters channel. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How are you? And hope you guys are really having a fantastic evening wherever you are. It's always nice having you and obviously talking to you here. And we are talking Luke Shaw and how Erik ten Hag is going to hit obviously increase his huge possibility or optimism as far as United going in the Champions League next season is really concerned. Let's see close to 100 likes, 100 people smashing the like button, and don't forget to obviously subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more we obviously go to where you people want us to be. So today is a Monday. How is your Monday, by the way, guys? It's really very important to really know how you guys are, and you can as well let me know where you are watching in from, because we are the biggest channel around here in Africa that does Man United content, and it's really always important to see to it that you guys never really back off. Now, let's start it off with what happened in the game of Aston Villa that led Luke Shaw really getting out of that beautiful game of football. I think there is something I'm supposed to be really getting you first before I obviously really get to what really happened, because I just need to give him flowers. You know, I'm this kind of person who gives people their flowers when they deserve them, and every time they really mess up, you know what I do next? I come up and really slate you, you know, because when you do good, I'll say the good you've gonna hate to do. When you do bad, I'll tell you the bad you've gonna hate to do. So Luke Shaw really went ahead to put in some huge performances for the first 45 minutes of the game, and it was really outstanding. Went ahead to put in an outstanding performance as a player, and everyone was really impressed with what he really went ahead to put up on the field of play. But I tell you, Luke Shaw displayed some good 45 minutes. And just to it that, when he never came back, you all saw to it that our team never really looked the same again. You can all agree with me that our team never looked the same again, because that left side where he was defending, it turned into an avenue, and Luke Shaw, and Lindelof was really ruptured left, right and center. But I really understand that he has just returned from injury. He has been one or 2 months out, and he had his first 45 minutes, you know. So after halftime, we saw Lindelof warming up, and I was really watching up, and the commentator said it's not, he's not gonna return. And I was like, oh my god, is he injured? Because if it were just a tactical change, I wouldn't have gonna have a problem. But it was a forced substitution by Erik ten Hag that Luke Shaw never felt well, and he said, I take him off. And when he took him off, you see exactly what happened. And Tyrell Malacia is one of those players that is on his way back from injury, and you cannot trust him because he needs to get ample time to really get going. Remember, he last kicked a ball when he was playing for the Netherlands in the Nations League, and ever since then, that was around June, and he returned to the preseason around July, and he really got an injury. He never even made it to the trip to the US. So meaning that from August, September, October, November, December, January, 6 months, he has been out for 6 months, meaning that if he's to come back, it's gonna take him a lot of time to see to it that he really gets going and really getting us to where we deserve to be as a side. So that is Luke Shaw for you. And after the game of football, Erik ten Hag was really asked about Luke Shaw, and this is what ten Hag had to say about the injury of this sensational left back of Man United, that is Luke Shaw. He said he had some complaints, and we can't take any risks with him because he's had many injuries in the past. We'll all have to see how it goes in the next few days. It's not an advantage to lose him. Everyone knows my philosophy to have left footers at left center back and left back. We have to make compromises, and it's not for our advantage. So when you look at that statement, Ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously hint on to how he's really missing left-footed players onto the team of Man United and how he's so much obsessed to having left-footed players at the club of Manchester United. And right now he's hinting about Luke Shaw. And he's not only hinting about Luke Shaw, but he's also hinting about Lisandro Martinez, talking about the left centre-back and the left-back. One will say, but Rokhani, Ten Hag is going to hate to use Luke Shaw on the on the left-sided centre-back most times. But I tell you, it's not the same always when you don't have those players. But hinting about the left-sided centre-back and left-back, he was talking about Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw, and he was like, everyone knows how his philosophy really operates, that he wants to be having a left-back on the left and a left-sided centre-back on the left side of the central defence. So that is what Ten Hag is talking about, and we all agree, and you can all agree with me, that this is a huge miss. But we are waiting for the assessment and see how long this is going to take for Luke Shaw to obviously get back. And remember, the options we are having is playing Amrabat on the left, Lindelof on the left, or Aaron Wan-Bissaka if at all he's fit in the next game. And I really believe when you're playing Luton Town, he's going to be fit, and Ten Hag is going to play him onto the left. And I was shocked in the game of Tottenham Hotspur because I thought that with us not having any left back, Bissaka was going to be played as a right back and Dalot was going to be played as a left back. Ten Hag insisted on Dalot being played as the right back and Bissaka as the left back, and I got to know why he went ahead to obviously insist that way. And the reason was, Dalot has shown us that every time he's played as a right back, his threat at goal is really very, very huge. You see that he averages a shot at goal almost every game. He now averages 5 balls into the 18 yards box area of the opponent, and that is the beauty of really having a player like Dalot. So when Bissaka returns, you will get to know that he's going to be played either as a right back or a left back. But I believe as we play Luton Town on Saturday, this man is going to be readily available to take it to the next level where everything really deserves. So we are going to miss Luke Shaw. That is it. We are going to miss him because he's really a leader, and he's one of those 5 players I've always going to hate to identify out as what we call the, as the spine of the team of Man United. That is it. So the spine of Manchester United is Lisandro Martinez, Varane, Casemiro, Luke Shaw, and I think now Bruno Fernandes. Those 5 players are really important for the club of Man United, and you need to be having them anytime you are really kicking the ball. You can all agree with me that you need those players. We need them with us. So to it that everything goes on as you want it. The moment we are not having those players, the rest is going to be history. We are just going to really get ourselves in the wrong way, and we will really miss out. You saw to it that Luke Shaw out, Varane out, Casemiro out, Lisandro Martinez out. 4 of those being on and off, with Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, and Casemiro out for like 2-3 months. You saw how we've been performing. We've been performing poorly. But when they came back, this year, we haven't gone ahead to lose a game. We haven't gone ahead to lose a game. And that shows you exactly that we are in need of these players, and we should obviously keep it going to the Lord, crossing our hands and obviously pray to it that these players keep around, because when they keep around, we've gone ahead to see the benefits of really having them around. And Erik Ten Hag now has to see to it that Malacia really returns on time. I really understand that Malacia might return around mid-March, a shocker towards the end of this month. That is it. But Bissaka trained well before he went ahead to play against Aston Villa. The manager reserved him, and he's reserved him for the better, because Ten Hag believes that we shouldn't be getting any setbacks. The way the team is performing, if we keep these players readily available until Lisandro Martinez gets back and Anton Martial, trust me, all is going to go well as planned. Yesterday, I saw that Rasmus Højlund reached an extent when he's really tired. He was really tired and he couldn't really push any further, but the manager had to keep him on the field of play, meaning that if Anton Martial was around, or another striker, he would have gone ahead to obviously put him there. Then we looked depleted, by the way, in the defense, especially the left back and right back positions of the pitch. But the midfield is really one of the most active positions for Man United, because Amrabat is there, Ericsson is fit, Casemiro is fit, Kobe Mainoo is fit, Scott McTominay is fit, Bruno Fernandes is fit. We are having close to 6-7 players who play in the midfield that are really fit, and that is really great. And even the wide players, we're not doing badly. You know, we are having Anthony, Amad Diallo, Foson, Omhori. Then there is Garnacho, there is Marcus Rashford. So even those wide players, you're really having them in plenty. So we are really good to go, but we're lacking depth when it comes to the fullback position. Central defense, Varane, Harry Maguire, Evans, and Lindelof. Those can take us through until Lisandro Martinez gets back. So we need to be doing that. Emukule Bernard, good evening, brother. How are you doing, Papa? I'm a Ugandan. Be watching you live from Qatar, Doha. Thank you very much for watching me live from Qatar, Doha. It's always nice having you on this channel, and it's really a great pleasure to obviously have you and really talk to you always. So that is really very important to note about Luke Shaw, but we are waiting to see what assessment is going to be really made. But Ten Hag says it was really precautionary. Have I even missed out on something about it? How come I've not gone ahead to obviously get that when Ten Hag said it was precautionary to get Luke Shaw off? You know, that's what he said exactly, that it was precautionary. That's why they went ahead to get him off, and he really went ahead to really embrace that. So that means if it was precautionary, there might be a chance for him to come in through and really play against Luton Town. But I think if I'm Erik Ten Hag, I rest him for the game of Luton Town. I get back Bissaka and Dalot to share the opportunity in the two positions, the left back and right back positions. That's what I could obviously go for. But I really tell you, Luke Shaw will be needed hugely, especially when you're playing teams that really do have the quality, like we've gone ahead to see teams of Aston Villa really have. You know, if you're facing teams of quality like Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Ham, and Aston Villa, you need a Luke Shaw. But I think when you're playing Luton Town, which other team are we going to play there? When you're playing Luton Town, let me check the fixture here and really see exactly what other teams are we going to be playing there. Because there are teams where even mediocre players can come in through and really get you the result. But when you're facing people like Moussa Diaby, you are facing teams like what is the name of that guy? Leon Bailey. You need quality alongside you, because you really have to do that. And it's very evident that at the beginning of the season, you saw to it that every time we lacked these quality players, you saw what happened. We went ahead to lose very many games because quality players bring in the consistency and different quality that can really see you win the games of football. And Ten Hag also went ahead to obviously confirm to us that precaution on why he took him off at halftime. Precaution. He had some complaints, and we can't take any risks with him because he's had many injuries in the past. So, precautionary measures we are taking on Luke Shaw, and the manager is really confirming that. So, we wait and see what the physio team is going to tell us in the next 1 or 2, 3 days. But I think for the next fixtures we're really having against... by the way, we are playing... Which team are we playing next? We are playing Manchester United. All I know, we are playing Luton Town next. After Luton Town, we are going to be hosting Fulham at Old Trafford. Those games we can do away without this guy. Then Nottingham Forest. These 3 games, Luton, Fulham, and Nottingham Forest, we can do away without Luke Shaw. But for the game of what's the side called? For the game of Man City, because that's the 4th game you're going to play on the 3rd of March, we will be needing Luke Shaw. So all I think is that let's get Luke Shaw there, let him rest enough, and we'll be really getting him back. And I know that even if he won't be back, we might be having someone else back, that is Terrell Malacia, and would have gone ahead to get in maybe some good number of games to obviously take United to the triumphant mode that we want obviously set. Remember, this season we haven't gone ahead to obviously lose anything like a game. I'm having a comment in the live chat. Let me try to obviously attend to it. Kakuru Vian, hey David, if you get some time, tell us about the young blood Zambrano Man United wanted to sign and how far with the process of signing him. I think I'm gonna go and really hit and make some good research. Way back, United was so much into that lad, but it looked like it died a natural death. You know, it looked as a decision was made that we're not going to sign any player in the January transfer window, whether in the academy or whether in the first team. So that is really very important to note about. That's really very important to note about who we are going to sign and who we are not going to sign, right? I think you get it very well, right? So for Zambrano, if a decision is to be taken, we need to have in what we call a CEO who is already in, sporting director and head of recruitment. That is it, such that a decision has to be made jointly. It's not a single decision as John Mata used to make it would want to go in and really sign in players anyhowly, because if you sign in anyhowly, then those players will obviously be a loss to the club of Man United. Ten Hag had the following to say that it was a massive win for us. He's talking about Aston Villa. We've got closer, and that was the aim for today. That was absolutely our target, and we've done it. The way we did it, I liked it. I especially liked the first 20 minutes when we controlled the game. At 1-1, we had to fight back, and we are really happy today. I know everyone was happy yesterday for that win that went ahead to obviously put in. You know, sometimes when you put in a win like that, you believe that a lot is going to come back into your pipeline. Beating a side that was 8 points ahead of you and they went ahead to drop points, and now they are 5 points behind us with Spurs we are 5 points behind Aston Villa and 6 behind Tottenham Hotspur. It was really a statement win. And by the way, Manchester United is really doing things that they failed to do at the beginning of the season. Why? At the beginning of the season, Man United should obviously go ahead and really do the needful for itself. And what needful should they be doing for themselves? Winning such games. Because at the beginning of the season, tell me whether we would have gone ahead to win the game against Aston Villa. We wouldn't. But right now, we've gone ahead to win 4 games in a row, something that we had not gone ahead to do this season. Yet last season, I saw to it that we went ahead to go some good games, at least in the first half of the season, and then in the second half, we went ahead to put in more and more and more and more. Now, when you look at Man United last season, in the second half of the season after the World Cup, you saw how we picked up. You know, we picked up and we went ahead and win very many games. And I think it's the same thing that we've gone ahead to obviously gate. Even after all that, Man United has gone ahead to really gate well and better. So that is it coming in from Erik ten Hag. Very much fired up for the club of Man United and really fancy exactly what the manager is really talking about. Now, let's talk about the situations that Ten Hag has gone ahead to address about Man United and his players. After that win of Aston Villa, he said, I never think about negative situations. I'm thinking positive. We have to catch up, but we are not yet there. We are in good mood and we have to keep this process going, but there is so much space for improvement. There are many games left to play and we will see what happens. So there is room for improvement, right? But you saw what consistency in the starting 11 really brings. Consistency in the starting 11 brings a lot of consistency in the first 11 brings a lot of chemistry, you know, as the players act in unison, they get used to one another. Like yesterday, for the very first time, I saw Bruno Fernandes directly looking in for Rasmus Højlund. You remember that first clear-cut chance that Rasmus Højlund really gets and really hits it over the bar. He had hit it well, but it deflected off the defender, that is Diego Carlos, and it went into the corner for the club of Man United. So that means What brings that is simple: the chemistry and knowing each other and reading each other's run like a book. You know, you've gonna hate to see to it that Casemiro having gonna hate to play with Alejandro Garnacho. He knows how to serve him that ball. The same applies to Bruno, and so on and so forth. But if at all you find a player that you haven't gonna hate to play with on a very regular basis, it is really a different narrative altogether. So I really believe that a lot is at hand for the club of Man United to obviously go ahead and really get in, and it's not gonna stop, according to me. So top 4 is really 100% alive, right? It's really 100% alive, and though very many games left, but we can obviously try to figure out the positives of this, and we can really get to where we deserve to be. So for me, I'm really fired up. I think we are going to go out at Luton Town and win that game of football. I've seen people coming out and say, Man United cannot go there and really win. I know we are going to win. We're going to win against them. We are going to beat Fulham at Old Trafford, and we might force a draw at the Emirates. Sorry, at the Etihad. That is the game we're going to be playing on the 3rd. Why should we force a draw there? We shouldn't allow to lose to Man City, because I want to see the likes of Arsenal go ahead of Man City. That is it. I don't want Man City to win the league to go for trophies in the row. I also don't want Liverpool to lift that league, because when Liverpool lifts that league, they will go ahead and really equate to the number of times we're going to hit to win the league. That is 20. They're having 19 and they're having 20. We last won in 2013, and for them, in the last, I think, 3 decades, they're just going to hit to win it once. So we just have to see to it that we put in a lot of effort and stop all that mess from happening at the club of Man United. Emerson Atwijukire, next transfer should be only for defenders. I think that's a lie. I really understand that we need like 2 central defenders. You're right. Bissaka is going to leave. We are going to get in a right back. And I've seen Fabrizio Romano talk about Frimpong as we are scouting him. So wait and see whether United will go for Frimpong in the summer. Then we need another midfielder, 1 or 2. Eriksson, Amrabat, Scott McTominay, 3 of those might really be put out for the club of Man United. And when we put them out, you know what is going to happen? What is going to happen will be something what we call a void. It will create a void in between us, in between the midfield, meaning that we'll be needing to bring in 2 more midfielders at the club of Man United. Then another striker, because Anton Martial is going to leave. So those are close to 5 players that we have to obviously bring in. So we are going to move out players and you're going to bring in more. That is it. So you cannot come out and say that we only need defenders. We need to reinforce in the midfield, 2 midfielders, 1 center forward, 1 right back, and 2 center backs. That is it. I go with Dimeji Abiyoye. Hi, RD. Is Malacia fit? Yeah, Malacia is fit, but Ten Hag doesn't want to really hurry him back, you know, and it's really evident that most of the times this man has always gone ahead to obviously give players time until they really feel ready to get back. For example, Casemiro was back on the grass mid-December. The same applies to Lisandro Martinez, you know, but he gave him time and it took them like 1 more month to obviously return, meaning that however much Malacia is back, kicking the ball, running and doing all effortful shifts to get himself back in the team, Ten Hag will only get him back when he feels like he's right to get in. But we pray to it that Luke Shaw doesn't really take long to return. Smash the like button, comment and share. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are going ahead to have fun. I think we've had a live of 25 minutes. I'm going to go to Rokan Media Football to obviously do something concerning Chelsea and Crystal Palace. So your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. We've gone ahead to talk about lots of things here. So tell me your thoughts about Luke Shaw injured and what you think about it. Then what do you make about Erik ten Hag's top 4 optimism is high, and do you think we are going to qualify for the Champions League? Because a 5th spot is being talked about, but I'm not looking at the 5th spot, because that 5th spot will depend on how teams are going to, on how English teams are going to perform in the Champions League. And Man United is going to have to deny itself a chance to really make the 5th spot really possible by not qualifying for the round of 16. If we had gone ahead to qualify the round of 16, then it would have been in our hands that go to the round of 8, such that our coefficient levels really increase. Then we see the best really coming in through. But I know it will be the best of the Champions League to get 5 teams from the Premier League, because if you're having Man United, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur, the vibe is really huge. And I would prefer to be having even 6 teams in the Champions League, because our league is really, 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 really important to the world, because they're having very many fans all over the world. We are having a page a long time already, at least. Let's try Frankie de Jong. Here I'm gonna hate to do a Frank de Jong story, and more stories from Barcelona are really coming in for Frankie de Jong, as how they went ahead to offer him a new contract and was gonna hate to turn it down, meaning that he might find himself coming at Old Trafford. There was a platform where I was, and people were telling me that Manchester United doesn't need Frankie de Jong, and I said, oh my God, are these people meant for football? How could you say no to a player that every top team in the world needs? So guys, I sign out for now. See you later, and may the living true God bless you abundantly. The Muslims Barakallahu fikum. We